For 3 years, the ink in my pen remained locked up. My papers? Virgin. Then Nazanin steps into my class.
You bring others here too?
Resh, named after the mythical Persian archer. Shoots like his legendary namesake. Of course, in the legend, Resh pulls on the arrow with such force that he dies.
Challenging. Look, you know, every movie is a challenge, clearly, whatever that may be. And in this particular instance, specifically speaking, we were filming during COVID. So for me personally, I had to get because I'm from Victoria, and I think Osama, you're from Victoria, we had to get an interstate pass to cross the border in order to be able to work in New South Wales, which is where it was shot. So logistically speaking, in that aspect, clearly it was a challenge. And it was rush. I was only on set for 2-3 days. We had a very modest budget, which Amin never made an issue of. He was always optimistic, and I think it shows aesthetically, and the performances he was able to pull out of us. Amazing director. It was a challenge in so many ways, you know. I arrived, I think it was before midnight. 2-3 hours later, I was being picked up, and I'm talking personally. I was on set within 3 hours, because I think that's how far the location was. Straight to wardrobe, straight to makeup, and the first scene that I had was with Osama kicking the football. And Osama, believe it or not, is actually a really good kick. So he's a good actor shanking those football shots that I had to run after, which after about 2 or 3 I felt very dizzy.
Yeah, he's like, can you not kick them that far, please?
Right. So look, you know, it was hectic, but the challenge, you know, superseded what we achieved, which was what I believe is a beautiful narrative, something that I connected with as a kid. You know, European films, international films. I was never a big fan of, you know, guys flying around in capes and lycra outfits. You know, if that's your thing, that's fine, but that was never my thing. You know, I like character-driven stories, and this is a character-driven story with a beautiful narrative. It had something to say, it had heart. Osama and I have worked together on Ali's Wedding, a long time ago now, brother, right? Yeah. So we have a rapport. So when I read, you know, the first 2 pages, I was hooked and I was in. And obviously I'm a fan of Amin Palengi, who did, if you haven't seen it, you should. It's a documentary, his debut feature documentary called Love, Marriage in Kabul. So I was a fan, and between the two of them, I wanted in. And then meeting Fafa was just like, you know, it was the Holy Trinity. You know, I was all in. I don't know if it was Amin's silver tongue that convinced us, or his work, but whatever it was, whatever it was. Sure. Whatever it was, I was all in. And look, I had a great time. And like I said, you know, I grew up watching, you know, international films, European films. And this is right up my alley. It was a beautiful narrative. It was a beautiful story. It had heart, and it had something to say. So sorry to answer your question. Was it a challenge? Yes, but it was worth it. In short.